Fast fashion and its impacts on our environment and society. All we know about fast fashion. Is it good or bad? Why it is so popular, and why it is so criticized? And what are the impacts of fast fashion? In this video, we will learn about every aspect of fast fashion. What is fast fashion? Fast fashion can be defined as cheap and trendy clothing that is inspired by the catwalk or celebrity culture, and produced at a faster speed to meet consumer demand. In other words, fast fashion refers to the trend of quickly producing and selling inexpensive clothing, typically imitating the latest trends from high-end fashion brands. Why it is so popular? Fast fashion has become increasingly popular in the fashion industry in recent years. Let's look at some potential good sides of fast fashion. Accessibility. Fast fashion makes trendy clothing accessible to a wider range of consumers who might not otherwise be able to afford high-end fashion at high price. Affordability. Fast fashion allows consumers to purchase clothing at lower price than high-end fashion brands. It's affordable for the people with lower incomes. Creativity. Fast fashion can inspire creativity and experimentation with fashion, as it allows people to try out different trends and styles without committing to a high-priced item. Employment. To produce and retail the fast fashion clothing, lots of employment opportunity has been created, particularly in underdeveloped and developing countries, where jobs are scarce. This is how it's helping the economy by reducing unemployment. Now, we will see why fast fashion has also been criticized, and what are the negative impacts of fast fashion on the environment and society. Environmental impact of fast fashion. Water consumption. The fashion industry is one of the largest consumers of water, and fast fashion only worsens this problem. The production of cotton, which is one of the most commonly used materials in fast fashion, requires a significant amount of water. According to the World Wildlife Fund, it takes approximately 20,000 liters of water to produce 1 kilogram of cotton. This is a staggering amount of water, and it is only one of the many materials used in the fast fashion industry. Use of toxic chemical. The production of fast fashion items also requires the use of many harmful chemicals. The dyes, used to create vibrant colors and textures in clothing, often contain toxic chemicals that can pollute the environment. These chemicals can be released into nearby water sources, which can harm local ecosystems and even affect human health. Tons of waste. Fast fashion encourages consumers to buy more clothes at lower price, which leads to a culture of disposability. As a result, the textile waste generated by the fast fashion industry is significant. As per statistics, 92 million tons of textile waste is produced every year that end up in landfills. And the fast fashion clothing are mostly made from synthetic materials, such as nylon or polyester, that can take up to hundreds of years to decompose in a landfill. This means the clothes we wear for just a few months can have a far-lasting impact on the environment. Consumption of energy. The fast fashion industry also has significant power and energy consumption. The production process itself requires a significant amount of power and energy. For example, processing 1 ton of cotton into finished fabric requires 65,000 kilowatt of electricity and 250,000 liter of water. Many countries still use coal-based energy to power their factories, that is leading to a huge carbon footprint and carbon dioxide emissions. In addition, The transportation of materials and finished goods around the world requires a great deal of energy. This consumption of resources contributes to climate change, which has far-reaching environmental consequences. In fact, around 10% of global greenhouse gas emissions are produced by the fashion industry. The fashion industry is known as the second largest generator of pollution on Earth. Now, let's have a look at the social impacts of fast fashion. While fast fashion has brought significant changes in the fashion industry, it has also big impact on society, particularly in developing economies. Let's look at some common social impacts of fast fashion and its effects on society. Creates addiction to shopping. Many people love to shop. They feel pleasure and excitement to buy new trendy clothes at affordable price. Fast fashion encourages this practice and creates an addiction to shopping, even if they are not necessary, just only because it's enjoyable. This addictive shopping is dangerous and devastating in many cases. The exploitation of labor. Fast fashion is notorious for its exploitation of labor in developing countries. Many underdeveloped and developing countries are seen as cheap sources of labor, where the workers are often paid poor wages and work long hours in hazardous conditions, having little or no job security. According to a U.S. Department of Labor report, published in 2018, evidence of forced and child labor was found in some developing countries, such as China, India, Philippines, Turkey, Indonesia, Argentina, Brazil, and some other countries. This exploitation of labor has led to the abuse of workers' human rights and a rise in social inequality. Gender inequality. Fast fashion also contributes to gender inequality in the fashion industry. The industry employs approximately 80% of young women between the age of 18 to 24. Women are often paid less than men for the same work and have limited opportunities for career advancement. Additionally, the industry promotes a narrow and unrealistic view of beauty, which has a negative impact on women's self-esteem and body image. Now let's see, what can we do to minimize the negative impacts of fast fashion on our environment and society? There are several steps we can take from our side, as a general consumer. One of the most effective ways to do this is to buy clothing made from sustainable materials. These materials are typically produced using less water and fewer chemicals than traditional materials, which makes them a more environment-friendly option. We can also reduce our consumption of fast fashion items by buying clothing of higher quality that can be worn for a longer period of time. Another option is to support ethical and sustainable fashion brands. You can find the name of some renowned sustainable fashion brands in the video description. These brands prioritize environmental and social responsibility and are committed to reducing their impact on the environment. By choosing to buy from these brands, we can support a more sustainable fashion industry. Finally, we can recycle our clothing, instead of throwing away after a few wears. We can also donate them to charity or repurpose them into something new. This will help to reduce the amount of textile waste generated by the fast fashion industry and gives our clothes a second life. The fashion industry also needs to take responsibility for its actions and prioritize sustainability and social responsibility. By working together, we can create a more sustainable fashion industry that benefits both people and the planet. Thank you for watching. To watch more videos about apparel and fashion industry, please subscribe to our channel and stay connected.